So I've decided to do a quick Silo Double O Tut, just a beginner tutorial. Nothing too fancy. At some point I might revisit this and do an advanced tutorial for English, but I'd prefer to do that when I have a stronger time than a 127 and a time that's on English. So for your objectives, that's the first thing. So your objective A is your plastique. You throw one in each control room. Objective B is the camera shot on the satellite, which is in your fourth control room. Objective C is the DAT, which you find in the third control room off one of the scientists. Objective D is the circuitry, which you find in the first three control rooms. And objective E is minimize scientist casualties, and you can only kill up to 3 scientists. Okay, so the first thing to note here is that you're going to want to watch the full cutscene every time you play the level. And the reason for this, the important reason for this is because it affects the guard placement on the level, and the optimal placement for all the guards is to play the full cutscene. An important note is that on the Japanese version, which you should play if you're a beginner, each cutscene will affect the guard's positioning differently. There's not a whole lot of research on it, but the best cutscene is the one of the guard walking down the hallway. That one typically has the fewest guards before the DAT room. So if you get that cutscene, good. I wouldn't recommend like trying to farm it out or anything, because it's helpful, but it won't really. It doesn't have enough of an impact to make it justify farming it out. So the first thing you'll note here is you gain control of Bond at around. Let me see here. It's hard to buffer on this, I guess. At around 8:29:61 is when you'll gain control of Bond. So it's really important to take notes on your splits here, because the more details you have on your own splits, the better you can compare your runs, know when you should quit out, know when you're ahead, know where you can like save and lose time, because you might have, you might have certain runs that have your faster run might be faster at the end and slower at the start, so it's good to know where you can save and lose time. Let me show you here. So just as a quick example of that, in my 133 I started off with the 8:18:33, which is a couple tenths better than my start in my 127. And then I was about a full second ahead coming into the second control room, which is pretty substantial there. So you can see, like, I know that if I had my 127 run with my 133 start, it'd be about a second and a half better. So that's about a second better. So that's the super useful information you can learn from recording your splits. Is you can kind of piece together what your best possible time is, and you can kind of it gives you a lot of options as you play out your run. So I highly recommend doing that. Anyway, so the first thing in this run is you're gonna want to open this door from as far away as you can, and I'd say about right here is a good place to open it. I open it a little bit late in this run, so I get all the way here, which is late. The earlier, the better. And then you're going to want to do 2 quick pauses. But if you're just starting the level, you can opt for 1 quick pause, and it won't really hurt anything too badly. It'll just help you be more consistent. But I do recommend doing 2 quick pauses as you get more experienced. So these 2 guards here, you want to just aim for the chest and try to do put 3 or 4 shots in both of them. definitely try to pass away both of them because you're really going to want that ammo. And if you can get both of their ammo, it's really beneficial. Now here, you're going to want to be aiming slightly up so you can try to get an instant headshot on this guard. This guard that's coming up at the door. So here I'm even a little bit low with the KF7 maybe. But if he is closer to me, I'd basically want to be aiming at his head level so I could just get an instant headshot, which is a lot faster than a slow takedown by shooting him in the chest or something. Let me see. So here, you're going to want to start your shots, your 3 shots at the scientist. And the purpose of this is to make him drop the key card. And to start opening this door at the top here. So that door, it starts opening after you've shot 6 shots in this room. So your first 3 shots on the guard and then 3 on the scientist. So, oops, that's way too big. Anyway, so you shoot here, and then he can drop the key card in one of 2 positions. He can drop it right around here, so you get it right away. You'll hear a beep noise indicating you've got it. There's your circuit boards. Or you can drop it like right around the foot of the stairs, like here. So don't quit out just because he doesn't drop it in the first position. Always wait till the stairs to quit out if you're going to. And then here on the stairs, what you can do is you can quick pause. You can quick pause once before your pause, and that'll help the guard positioning up the stairs, especially on slower paces. So I recommend doing that for consistency when you're first starting out. So like right around here, do a quick pause, get a little bit more up the stairs, and then do your regular pause for the plastique. I don't do it in this run, but it really does help for consistency on the stairs. So here I pause, I take out the plastique. So what I do here is I hold Z out of the pause. Makes it a lot more consistent for tossing it. I have a little bit of a mishap on the stairs, but what you want to do is you want to quick pause on this guard as you're drawing the KF7. But when you're just starting out, you can avoid all these quick pauses on the stairs, and if it's too much, and you can just run the level without those quick pauses on the stairs. So, for beginners, I might recommend starting out that way. Just don't worry about the quick pauses, and then worry about them as you get more confident in the level. But once you start trying to get a time in the low 130s or trying to get a time in the 120s, I recommend doing at least one quick pause on this guy. And if you want to try it out, you can do the one before the pause too. So the really important thing here at the start is you're going to want to... so when you start shooting this guy here, you're going to want to continue holding Z all the way down this hallway, or like a little bit over halfway down the hallway. From what I've noticed, let me see how many shots it is. It's about... How many shots? It's about like 9 shots or something, I think. Did I count that right? No, 14 to 2, so it's about 12 shots. Okay, so like about 12 shots should do good. If you do any more than that, it can affect the rooms later on down the level, and you don't want that to happen. So try to get this. What you're trying to do is get this next door open, but you don't want to shoot too much. So about 12 shots is good, and you can judge how much you're shooting based on how far you get down the hallway too. So this is what you want to see here, is you want to see this guy opening the door early here. But what you generally have to do is you have to sandbag down the hall so you can open the door as you're approaching it. So you can see what you want to do is you want to see up down the hall, basically. If you're on really good pace opening the door, you'll want to see up the whole way, because otherwise you'll be too fast at the door. But here, I knew I was kind of going slow, so I used a little bit of strafe, so I get there a little sooner. So that hallway, like, if you're kind of slow to the cycle, you can hear the door opening, you can strafe down it. And if you're kind of fast to the cycle and you don't hear the door opening, you see up, right? So you're not there too early and have to spend time stuck on the door. So you take just 3 shots here. If you do any more, it'll mess everything up down the line. Just 3 shots. That'll start this next door opening, and then you reverse warp it to PB7. It's really important to use PP7 here, or the second control room will be just really laggy and have way more guards than it will if you use PP7 here. So it's one of the most important parts of the level. Let me see if I... So after you get the warp, typically you'll either get boosted or back boosted down this hall. It's pretty normal. Now what I always do coming here is I get past this barrel and I use just a bit of left strafe once I get about here, so I can correct into this hall. It also helps if let me highlight this. If this guy shoots you into, like, trying to shoot you into this wall, doing a little bit of left strafe will help prevent you from getting stuck on the wall, right? So it's kind of nice. Let me see. So I use just a touch of left strafe and then I go into C up, right? And what you want to do is shoot this guard here is probably the most important pass away in the level, right? This is really good. If he's above the crate, super good. You can just aim, right around here, right around here. The JP auto aim's pretty forgiving. So it's super easy if he's in that position. But if he is crouching and his head's here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to aim like around here, and you're going to want to pull up kind of sharply. And by doing that, a lot of times you can nail him in the head and take him down. If you don't get the pass away on him, it'll be a little bit of a challenge, right? You're gonna get shot a bunch opening this door over here, and a lot of times it'll just kill your run. I mean, I wouldn't reset just because you don't get him if you're playing on the Japanese version, but it gets pretty bad, pretty ugly. So you take him down, and you're gonna want to open this door kind of close to this crack over here. This is where you're gonna want Bond to be, because it helps reduce your chances of getting shot as you go into the room, right? So you want to open from here, get your pause, get the plastique out. See if I was over on this side instead, I'd be far more likely to get shot going in, from my experience. So you get your plastique out. You're going to go to the right of this console, toss the plastique, and generally that's a good place to toss it where it won't get shot. If you toss it anywhere else, there's a chance either you or the guards will blow it up, right? and that's not really ideal. So this is body armor. There's a lot of different ways you can get it. In this run, I got it from like the front of the crate, but you can also, there's multiple ways you can take it that are fine. Just want to get a shot of it. You can take it from the, like you can go around it if you get shot around it, or you can take it from the left side and then go back into right strafe. So it's really up to personal preference. But this is probably one of the more direct ways, I guess. And I did it that way because I got shot straight into it, but anyway, so you get your body armor. Now something that's really important here is when I went into this room, I noticed this guard that I have to keep back clicking. I noticed this guard running down the stairs, right? And I can see this door is open as well. So that means I don't have to shoot at all to get that door to open, right? So the best strategy is just not shoot at all if this happens. But a lot of the time, what you're gonna see is that guard will not open the door, not have an open door at this point, right? So the door will be closed. So let me show you what you do if the door is closed on the Japanese version. I should have a video of it, I believe. See, I think my 133 didn't have open door, hopefully. Open with, yeah, there we go. That was big. Okay. Okay, yeah, it didn't. So, you can see I opened the room, right? Same as my 127. Get shot a couple times there, though. I don't see the guard on the stairs. And I don't hear a door opening or anything. So I shoot a few times here to get this door to open. And you just want to take, if that happens, you just want to shoot the guards that open it, right? So obviously you lose a little bit of time no matter what you do if you don't have the open door. But you'll lose fractions if you do it correctly. So let me open this back up. Not with that. Why? Why is it so big? Okay. Sorry about that. I just figured I'd show that because it's important to know when you have to shoot there. Okay, so you clear this room. Whether you get open door, closed door, should be able to make it work for a decent pace. Now this, I personally like to shoot the guards in this hallway. Now you don't have to on the Japanese version. You can just strafe past this whole hall if you'd like. Could potentially save time. But for consistency, I like to take this guy down, and it also starts the next door opening more quickly, right? So this door at the end of this catwalk, it helps it open faster by shooting that guard in the hallway. So I like to shoot him. And then here, you're going to want to open this door earlier than I did in this run. So as soon as you can, open this door, get this door opening so you can start shooting earlier than I did. You don't want to get stuck on it like that. So you don't want to aim for the chest, aim for the head where you can. If they crouch, aim down. But that'll be one of the point that kills the most runs, right? Is this hallway and the door here. you can get stuck really bad, depending on how the guards are clustered, depending on how well you aim your shots. You can lose tons of time here. I mean, this run it certainly wasn't perfect, but it was pretty smooth. So that's about what you want to see there. And then here I just right strafe down the hall. And I got lucky and got an open door here. This door to the DAT room is, as far as we know, it's pretty luck dependent, right? So it's probably one of the only RNG based doors in the level. There might be something we don't know that determines how the door opens that's related to noise, but nobody's figured out a way to open it, so you kind of just have to accept that sometimes it'll open, and sometimes it'll be closed for 3 or more seconds before it opens, which is definitely a big run killer, but you have to practice your runs, so I don't recommend quitting out every time it's closed. But anyway, what you're going to want to do is get a clean kill on this guy, right? And this DAT guard, this is the DAT scientist. He'll usually be in this corner. You're going to want to right strafe and brush right in front of him and make a smooth turn here. And you'll pick up the DAT most of the time doing that. Now sometimes if you shoot too much in the hallway leading up to this, he'll be here and you'll have to headshot him to get the DAT. In my opinion, if he's there, that means you made a mistake by shooting too much in the past hallway. But I know it happens sometimes. I basically had it never happening to me because I just didn't shoot. I didn't shoot too much in that hallway, but anyway. So you wanna get that DAT and then keep an all right strafe, and you're gonna want to get up onto these stairs. So you pick up let me just show you this whole room. All right strafe, pick up the circuit board, and get on the stairs. So it's pretty tricky movement because it's all in right strafe and it's basically a big circle. You brush against the console that has the circuit board on it, and then you get onto the stairs, all in right strafe. When I was first starting out, I tried using left strafe here because it sounded easier, but it is not. You'll get stuck way more often. So even though it's tough, I recommend learning this hard movement right away because it's actually, from my experience, the only movement that really works there, right? Then you're going to pause on these stairs. One thing that's big here is your pause is going to be dependent on if there's a guard. Like if there's a guard in your way on these stairs, you might want to take him down before you pause. I mean, it kind of depends on how you want to play it, but it would reduce your chances of getting shot or like blocked. So sometimes those guards and scientists you'll just have to take out on the stairs here before you pause if they're really in the way. Anyway, I get the pause, throw the plastique, right? And here you want to just strafe. I use C up here, but you could also strafe down this. You could also left strafe down the hall. But I like to get the door opening early so I can warp. Now this warp, you can do it like I did in right strafe. It's my preferred way. But the way Ace does it is he does the warp and left strafe and then switches to right strafe on the catwalk. But I like doing it all right strafe personally. So whatever you prefer there. And then, so these two, normally there'll be two guards in this catwalk here. And you'll want to take them down with your PP7 if they're in your way, right? Sometimes you can just strafe right past them and get to the door. So normally this door will be closed. The only reason it's open is because I'm on open door pace, which is like a 730, roughly a 737 pause in the DAT room. Okay. If your time isn't that fast, this door right here will not be open. Okay. And if it's not open, what you have to do is you get past these guards on the catwalk, whether you have to shoot them or not, and then you warp out the door using KF7. But for me in this run, it was open, um, so I try to get past that guy, and then the important thing here is right about here, right where the door is. You're gonna want to pull out the KF7 and start shooting. You have to shoot down this whole hall, or the camera room will not open, right? And what's important here is getting on the left side of the hall so you won't get blocked as much when this camera room gets opened. So here, the guard opening it won't see you as much if you're on the left side of the hallway. And that'll prevent them from getting in your way so much. I think that in my run, the scientist actually opened it, which is kind of a little bit unusual, but let me see. So it's really important here when you're taking this camera shot, is a lot of times what you either want to do is you want to take it like early, like start taking the shot here. So you need this full satellite in view, or B will not complete. So if you're too close to it or looking too far down, it won't complete. You have to have the whole satellite in view, right? So what you can either do is like start taking the shot early. You can see B completes for me, and that's because I was far away. So I got the whole thing in view. Or you can get what you can also do is look up a little bit as you take the shot, so you get more of it in there. But yeah, the important thing is, let me try to get a good still of it. Yeah, you need this whole thing in your shot. So like the way I'm like looking down slightly here, if I was to take the shot here, it'd probably fail. Yeah, you have to be either looking up or far enough away that you catch the whole thing in the camera. In this room, usually I go left of that console, then just turn onto the stairs. You can also just go. There's one of my runs where let me see. I might have got shot or something, but I went down this path, and that can also work. I don't know. It might be faster. I'm not really sure, but if that happens to you, I mean, you can get on the stairs that way. It's just more difficult. But I recommend going this way. Just makes it easier, in my opinion. The other thing that's important is, so to the left here, like back here in this corner, there's a body armor you can pick up if you're really low health. So when you're first starting out, you might need that. I know I did. So I recommend getting that if you are really low health and if your paces can afford to go get that body armor, it doesn't lose much time. So I recommend getting it if you're low. Let me see. So this room is usually pretty peaceful. You won't really get shot unless you miss the stairs. So what I like to do is I like to warp to PP7. So I select PP7, and then the plastique, toss the last plastique, and then I like to warp the door, and I'll write strafe here, like I did. Now the way I open the door is really slow, which Irie pointed out to me. What you're going to want to do to open this door is you're going to want to either switch to left strafe, so open it from further away, and then warp and right strafe. Or you're going to want to use like right strafe like I did, but with a touch of CF, so you can open it from further away. So yeah, the way I do it here is slow, so don't copy that. But then I warp to PB7 here, stay in right strafe, and here I switch to left strafe. But what you want to do is you're going to want to stay in right strafe until here, and then switch to left strafe. So yeah, little optimizations could be made on my ending that Irie pointed out. I recommend just starting doing it the right way. So yeah, to review, let me see. Where is the... So PP7, do your warp, open the door from better than I did, and then switch to left strafe here. Now this warp at the end, I've seen different ways it can be done, but the best way to do it is to switch to unarmed, like so reverse swap to unarmed. Switching to KF7 doesn't create as much lag, so you'll miss it more often. I like to do the warp and just keep it in left strafe, but I've seen people do it in different ways. So swap to your unarmed, and then there you have it. So that should be a pretty general overview of the level. Like I said, I really recommend taking notes on your splits, because it'll be pretty useful for comparing your runs, knowing where you should quit out, knowing where you can save time. It's really nice to have. One thing I should note about this ending cinema here, right? You're gonna wanna. You can do it one of two ways. You can you can do it the way almost everyone does it, and you can skip both cutscenes, right? Just straight to your end screen. Or you can do what I do and watch the cutscene, but don't let it explode. So what I do is I press A right around here, so everything doesn't explode. Because when everything explodes, it can fail objective E by passing away more scientists. So yeah, you'll not want to do that. You'll want to, like I said, either skip them both or do what I do and just time it out for the swag. Up to you. But yeah, so that's about how you're gonna want to play it. If you want a 1-2x or if you want a low 130s, that should be enough to get you going on it. Is there anything else? I mean, I guess I could go over like general like pace tips would be important to have. And obviously when you're starting out, just play out all your runs. Don't really worry about the pace. But as you keep going, you'll want to know some pace guidelines. So like here, the timer, it's 8:18. An 8:18 timer at the stairs is really good. You'll want it to be 8:18 or higher. So, like on Ace's world record run, it was 8:18.6, which is really good. That's usually that'll be about the best you can get. You can get better pauses than Ace did on his run. I've seen them, but it doesn't happen that often. But yeah, generally you'll want 8:18 or better if you're going for a good time. 8:17 is okay. Times in the 8:17. Let me see. Okay, so here on your second pause, you're gonna want anything. You're gonna want anything between 8 minutes to 8:02 is usually pretty good. 8:02 is like world record pace. 8 minutes can net you anything between 123 to however much higher than that, depending on how well you play afterward. But yeah, an 8 minute or better pause before the second control room is kind of what you're looking for. Let me see. So okay, here on the DAT stairs, important notes. I got like a high 736, which was enough for the open door. Here you can see. But usually open door pace will be around 737 or better, which means that the door on that hallway will be open, so you should be expecting it. I think if you go fast enough, that doesn't happen. The door won't open anymore. But so like if you had like a 740 or something crazy, that you might not get open door, but like on Ace's run. So yeah, you'll want to take note of that. I'd say, like my 133, I had a 734 there, but my ending was pretty bad. My 136, I had a 733 there. So I mean, honestly, I would say when you're just starting out on this level, look for something 730 or better, and once you get a little more experience, something 733, 734 or better. It's kind of what you're looking for. Now these pauses, the next ones don't really matter as much because generally it might just give you a little bit of nerves. But it is interesting to look at, I guess. So here I got like 721. So, you can kind of compare your old runs to them and see. Like I was basically 5 seconds ahead of my previous best run at that point. I'd seen 716 there, 715 there, 712, 711. So, that was where a huge chunk of improvement was in this run. It's kind of nice to have those numbers to look at. And then the final pause here, got like a 714, 8.83 on my run. But you can kind of gauge what pace you are with a good ending by this pause. Like, so this was a 127. When I got a 133, I was on like 7. I had a pretty bad ending, but I was on 710 pace here. When I got a 136, I was like 707. So you'll kind of get a feel for how fast it is by looking at this number if you want to. So yeah, good. I highly recommend working on your pace checks. Just really looking at that stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Sorry if I rambled too much, but those are the basics. Thanks. Bye.